Hello, this is Angelo, and we are here for December's and also the last coaching masterclass for 2024. Today's title is The Wizard with All the Gifts, your super mentor. In just a few minutes' time, you will know who your super mentor is, the ideal mentor for you, regardless of where you are and regardless of what it is that you want to achieve. Now, before we begin, as always, I want to thank you for being here and congratulate you for being here. You know how easy it is to get distracted and also get derailed towards the achievement of your goals. Since you are here, it means also that you have demonstrated to yourself that you do not negotiate your vision and you are willing to fill in the blanks to find these missing pieces of your success puzzle. Also, I want to remind you that you want to turn off all your notifications and most probably close all the other tabs if you're watching from a tab or a PC or a laptop. Make sure that for the next 20 to 30 minutes, this is going to be a short but powerful masterclass. In this world, it is just you and me. And of course, you're more than welcome to take notes, but always remember that you will have the replay at your disposal if you want to focus entirely on what we will be discussing here. Last but not least, I want to remind you that we have crossed the point of no return, meaning that the only outcome that you allow in your consciousness is you landing happily and safely at your desired destination. Now, how do you feel? The question that I ask at each and every webinar, and the question that you want to ask many times during the day, simply because the better you feel, the better the quality of your life is right now, and the more energy you have towards achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve. Also, remember that we have set our thermostat to the happy and unstoppable state. And if this is not the case, always remember that you have at your disposal the exercises of perspective, forgiveness, love, gratitude, and happy landing to elevate yourself back up to that state. Also, you see, now that today we have a more festive setting with no screens, no slides, meaning that on one side, you want to focus a bit more on what we'll be discussing here. You will not have the support of the slides, but at the same time, I want you to remember that as we approach the end of 2024, it is just another year, just another number, but also it is a good chunk of time to roll back, see the big picture, and make sure that no matter what happens, number one, you feel deep self-love and self-respect, and also appreciate, embrace the journey, regardless if it was like extremely successful or extremely rough for you. Because always remember that even though you might have some failures along the way, you can always convert them to one or more lessons, right? Good. Now, let's get into today's subject. I promise that I will reveal your super mentor, the number one mentor in the world for you, the ideal mentor. And not only that, you will be amazed to find out that this mentor is absolutely free of charge to tap into their wisdom. So, before I tell you who this amazing super mentor is, I want to ask you something. And in fact, if you're not driving right now, or if you're not operating some kind of machinery that requires your attention, we will do a very brief meditation. So I want you now to close your eyes. And I want you to take a deep breath to relax yourself. And now I want you to start zooming out in your life and start seeing the big picture, like from the moment you were born up until now. And use your imagination. I know that you don't remember everything. I know that there are some bits missing, but your subconscious has recorded each and every thought, each and every circumstance. So your subconscious knows, and trust the feedback that you get from your subconscious. And I want to ask you now this. How much pain have you caused in your life by listening, taking advice from your sloppy self? And accumulate that pain. And now I want you to tell me, even though I cannot hear you, but I want you to truly say the number from 1 to 10, 1 being like a very light pain, 10 being an unbearable pain. What's your number? How much pain have you caused in your life by listening to your sloppy self, by taking advice from your sloppy self? Good. Open your eyes. Now you have set the record of what it is, what it means to listen to your sloppy self. Now, before I reveal your super mentor, I want to tell you a significant distinction. What is the difference between a coach and a mentor? A coach is someone who is helping someone else achieve something. So, for instance, in sports, you might have a football team, right, that is playing amazingly well and wins the championship. And the coach is an integral cog of that success. And the coach is giving the systems and the direction and the guidance, but it does not mean that the coach can substitute one of the players. So the coach can have the overview, but it does not mean that the coach has the actual ability to do something similar. Now, the mentor is someone who has achieved the success that you desire or an even greater level of success. For instance, now that I have helped many companies raise their turnover, their revenue by $1 million, it means that I know how to do it and I can do it also for you, or I can show you how it's done because I have done it already. This is the distinction. Now, who would be the ideal mentor for you then? It would be someone who has achieved each and every goal you have, someone who has reached at each and every desired destination you have. And who is that person? That would be your super self. Because by definition, your super self has already achieved what you want to achieve. Your super self is looking at your life from your destination. Your super self is already there. Now, I hear some kind of objection. Like, Angelo, what are you talking about? My super self is a figment of your imagination that I have also borrowed in my imagination. And I know your super self is a figment of your imagination, meaning that your super self is 100% real mentally and emotionally. Your super self, I repeat, is 100% real mentally and emotionally. Every time you close your eyes and you see yourself at your destination and you feel like feelings like gratitude, pride, joy, whatever, these feelings do not happen sometime in the future. These feelings happen right now, and feelings are the language of your subconscious, meaning that you communicate specific directions to your subconscious mind. So it is 100% real. And of course, for those of us that are more naysayers than others, always remember, right now, I am delivering this masterclass to you through my Wi-Fi and most probably your Wi-Fi or 5G, things that we cannot see. And at the same time that I am presenting right now, there are radio and TV signals passing through that we cannot see, but they are there. In the same manner, always remember that something that is intangible can be 100% real. Now, I want you to always act as if your super self is with you, because It is this way. It is exactly this way. Your sloppy self, in fact, and your super self will always be with you. The difference is that in most of the times, most occasions, our sloppy self would like create some kind of drama in our lives and shout and scream like there is an immediate danger, even though it is not. Basically, in both occasions, you are developing your imagination. It is as if we had like these old negative roles, right, that we were taking pictures from. It is like this. And the only question is, are you using your imagination against you or for you? So always act as if your super self is with you, because it is so. And that said, always remember that, as Einstein used to say, imagination is much more powerful than knowledge. So what you want to remember is that it is much more successful, much more preferable, much easier. Your future will be much easier if you stop using the knowledge of your past and start using your imagination and the power of your super self to create your future. This is the game-changing attitude. And this is why your super self is your super mentor, the ideal mentor. And of course, it is absolutely free of charge. All you have to do is to listen, to attune yourself to the attitude of your super self. And again, I want to point out that by definition, your super self is already at your destination. Meaning that even if you feel some kind of drama in your life right now, and you feel challenged and you feel overwhelmed, you can tap into the wisdom and the calmness and the peace that your super self has, because your super self has gone through this drama and struggle and succeeded by definition. And you can tap into that calm mind of your super self. And you can take advice from your super self much more frequently. And I know that, especially if you're new in this journey with us, it is not something that will be like at the tip, of your consciousness. I know. And this is why for 4 months now, we have been cultivating this super attitude, which will be the prime theme for the rest of my life, for the rest of the time that I will be doing this, because I realized this simple distinction. The more super you put in your life, as if it is like an ingredient, the more super you create, simply because energy flows where your focus goes. So back in September, we talked about training September, and then we talked about a bronze October, silver November, and gold December, because we wanted to start compounding the attitude of our super effect in our lives. And the more you use the word super, like I'm going to have a super masterclass, and then I'm going to make a super call to my best friend, or tomorrow I'm going to have a super meeting. And of course, as I'm driving to this super meeting, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to have a super time. Maybe, asking my super mentor for advice. What would be a great idea, like a great story to start this presentation? Or what would be a nice close, a powerful close to this presentation? What do you think, super mentor? And a little time out here. I wasn't 100% certain if I wanted to present this concept this way. But like a couple of months ago, I saw a video from Patrick Bet-David, who is the owner of New York Yankees. You might have seen him on social media. And he said that he is talking directly, as if it is another person next to him, to God, to the God of his understanding anyway. I'm not going and I'm not getting religious here. And the point is that, again, your imagination is there for you. Imagination in general is not reserved for kids. Imagination is reserved for those who want to take their happiness and their success to the next level. In fact, I want us right now to celebrate imagination. I want us right now to celebrate the fact that you can always, always win if you trust this inner source of power and wisdom, because today is also, it marks 121 years from the first flight that the Wright brothers succeeded. And I remember reading about it and the fact that when they were failing, one brother was telling the other, "Don't worry, brother, I can see us already flying nicely and swiftly." Even though they were failing, they were always using their imagination until it became a fact. So, as the leader of your life, maybe of your family or your business, you want to remind yourself that some things are not yet there for you, but this does not mean that you cannot create even more with your imagination and by trusting that new vision more than you trust your current 3D physical reality, you can make it happen. And this is the game changer. So, this is the attitude, and this is how you attune yourself even more every single day with your super self. That's it. So, before I leave you for the last time for 2024, I want to give you some simple and easy exercises that you can follow, you can practice, and tap into your super mentor even more. Number one, close your eyes and ears to your sloppy self. Your sloppy self will always be there, but you want to listen to your sloppy self and trust your sloppy self even more as you move into 2025. Number two, talk to your super self as if it is another person. Ask for advice directly. Like, what should I do right now, super mentor? Tell me, you've been there. What should I do? Which is the best way to go about it? And then do not, of course, expect an immediate answer. You might have it, but attune yourself to the ideas, like the insights and the foresight that might happen as a development of your question. Because your mind always, when you hear a question, your mind focuses on getting that question answered. Number three, you want to watch the last super master classes, like from the last 2-3 months. You want to watch as many as possible, maybe during your holiday time, your alone time, and attune yourself even more with a super attitude. I found out that this is the best thing that has happened to me, and it took me 10 years to get here to develop this. And I had no idea that it would be that simple when I focused entirely on adding this super ingredient in my life and business. And simply because energy flows where your focus goes, the moment you say, "I'm going to have a supervision for 2025, and I'm going to have a super energy every single day, super focus, and all the other ingredients that you will be getting like feedback from the previous master classes, you are set for an amazingly happy and successful 2025. Last but not least, I want to remind you that it is a great idea to do like a whole year review. So I will invest about 3 to 4 hours to go through the whole year and jot down my successes, my failures that I will turn to one or more lessons. And the key point here is to feel gratitude for your failure. When you feel gratitude for your failure, you know you have done amazingly well resolving that failure. Then, of course, anything that I still need to forgive, things that I'm grateful for, my magic moments, number 5 and number 6, like an outline of what an amazing 2025 looks like. Last but not least, you know by now that we are celebrating on January 1st 10 full years of daily shots of inspiration. I'm getting goosebumps as I say this to you. I know that I didn't have enough time during, like the last few years. I've been so busy that I didn't have time to take a time out and say, oh, what has happened here? Like 10 full years, 3,650 consecutive days of daily shots of inspiration with COVID, with no COVID, when I was feeling down, when I was so busy that I couldn't breathe, when I was getting like a surgery because I had my Achilles tendon torn. I never missed a single day. And for me, this is a huge achievement. But of course, I want to thank you for being part of this journey, because otherwise it wouldn't have happened. So I want us to celebrate this in so many ways, but one of them will be an amazing masterclass, an amazing party, basically, an amazing online party on January 10th at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. This will be like the first way that we will be celebrating the 10 years of daily shots of inspiration as we move into 2025. So mark your calendar. January 10th at 10 a.m. Pacific, we will be having our first webinar, our first masterclass for the year, but also that will be about 60, I would say 60 to 90 minutes long, because it's going to be an extreme celebration of these 10 years. And I will share with you the 10 most magic moments of this journey, and also the 10 greatest lessons and how we can apply these lessons in our lives so that we can make the most of 2025. So, as we wrap up this amazing year, this year full of successes but also challenges, this year that for so many, it wasn't, let's say, as planned, but it was also a year full of revelations and full of amazing preparation for an amazing 2025. Because always remember that your challenges are basically the chisel that creates this amazing masterpiece that is your life. So as we wrap up, I want to thank you and congratulate you one more time for being here, being with me in this amazing journey. And I want to wish you amazing holidays. And last but not least, remind you that you deserve everything you want, and we all deserve your very best. Invest the holiday time to create some more magic moments in this amazing year, and also reflect upon your year. Make sure that you take only the very best ingredients for 2025 and on. It was my pleasure, and I feel truly blessed to be here with you and be part of your personal development. And I cannot wait to start an amazing 2025 with you. See you very, very soon. Ciao, ciao. Have an amazing holiday time. Ciao, ciao.